All right, let's see here. We are up and running and ready to go. Welcome in here as we get ready for South Carolina Clemson on a Tuesday night. And one of the reasons we decided to do this tonight, I decided to do it. I don't know who was we, but one of the reasons decided to do it on a Tuesday night for this game is the importance of this game. I don't want to say it is the make or break game for the season. For the current status of the season, I should say this is kind of where things stand. I apologize. I'm trying to fix a few things here that I thought I had fixed, and it appears I did not. But you look at South Carolina; they're 7-3. They've won the 7 games that we knew that they would win so far. Unfortunately, they've lost the 3 games that we kind of knew they might lose. We knew that was going to be a risky scenario. So we'll see what happens tonight. Big thing here is I've got it on ESPN. We got the living room set up. There's a little sunroom and that's kind of a staging area right now for the stuff. Christmas tree slightly tilted, and there is the fire, and we got the TV. All right, we're good to go. Fireplace, got some new furniture here in the living room. Take that out. We'll just spin you around for a second and show you. All right, yep, Christmas tree, beautiful. Too many lights this year with the Christmas tree. Too many lights for the Christmas tree. But let me get this cord out of the way. You can see. All right, and then we got some Santa stuff, and I don't know what all I just showed you. Get you sick and dizzy. New picture behind us in the living room. All right, there you go. So anyway, going back to it, as Adam asked, do I think the season goes bad in this postseason? You think the 80 will happen? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's a make or break season for Lamont Paris and staff. Look, you look at it, and that's why tonight. That's another reason why tonight I'm doing this is because this might be the game we look on. Is it if you can win it? If you can win the game, then obviously maybe this is a turning point for the season. And if you lose, you're 7-4 with your main non-conference games, your big 4, if you will: Butler, Northwestern, Virginia Tech, and Clemson. You've all lost those. The SEC's down this year. That's kind of big. The SEC is down, and it's still a difficult conference. Don't get me wrong, but it is a season in which South Carolina maybe can take advantage a little bit. Because I don't think this is an awful team. Adam's right. We don't have a big. One of y'all just pointed out something I was going to get to, the Eli Ellis news about being out, and that's not good. Although he's really struggled lately, I think the injuries brought him down a little bit, and he's been shooting 23.3% from 3-point range. So, and Michi leads the way at 37.5, I think. But we'll have to wait and see what South Carolina looks like tonight. Not having Eli Ellis does hurt, in my opinion, from a point guard standpoint. I think one of the big issues, South Carolina still lacks a legitimate, true point guard. Just because you can handle the basketball doesn't mean you're a point guard. You're talking to somebody who was a point guard in high school for a state championship team, who understands the value of having a guy who knows his role as a point guard. And by that, I mean, you look at Melvin Watson, you look at Aaron Lucas, you look at Trey Kelly, over this, going back to the Eddie Fogler days, 95, 96, of the last 20, 30 years, I guess. And Devin Downey. Devin Downey was a scorer that knew how to play point guard, but he probably adjust more into the Michi role. He was just a little bit smaller. But, with all that being said, again, this is a game tonight. Clemson's good. Clemson's number 30 in the Ken Palm. They come in at 8-3 to this game. They want to win it. Brad Burnell is a guy that I think is a terrific coach. He's made some mistakes along the way. There have been some blown games. They have no reason for losing that BYU game several weeks ago up in New York as part of the Jimmy V Classic, but that might be last week. But the bottom line on that is that I like Brad Burnell. I think Clemson's built a solid program, and give credit. Lamont Paris is 2-1 against them going into tonight. So we'll see how it goes. All right. They're showing the state capitol. They're showing highlights, and we are coming on air. By the way, if you didn't see the thing that J.C. Sherbert put out, my goodness, South Carolina in the 2025 academic calendar year. In the 2025 calendar year, South Carolina is 10-58, I think, against SEC and Clemson. SEC competition. They were 6-28 in baseball. They were 3-17. So that's 45. That's 40. That's 45 losses, and they were 1-8 in football. So that's 53. 10-53. I was close. All right. There's Roy Philpott. He just high-fived a high school friend of mine, Adam Gibson. I think he just I think Roy just looked like Adam Gibson, Adam's always at games right behind the bench. What is he doing? How does he accomplish that? Adam was a teammate of mine on the Lexington teams, and all right, well, no problem. So anyway, I think he just high-fived him. So all right. So, by the way, tonight, if I get up and start moving around a little bit, and I may, Tennessee is playing Louisville tonight in a really good SEC ACC showdown going on. Oh, Duke is only up 3 on Lipscomb right now at halftime, 48-43 in that ball game. So just goes to show you, Duke's number 3 in the country. All right. South Carolina, by the way, wearing new jerseys, debuting brand new jerseys. Got to remember, this is the last year of Under Armour. Last, I guess we'll get Under Armour baseball jerseys, and then we'll officially switch off to Nike there in July. All right, ball has been tipped up, so let's see. Carolina comes out man to man, and you got the big fella inside. All right, good start there. We'll see if that's just a good start or not, but I've got the stats of the starters: Michi and Kobe Knox, Mongolian Mike, Asandiko, and Miles Studi there, and we get a basket right off. So 2-0. Listen, I don't know what the matchup is, but South Carolina tends to play Clemson obviously pretty close. I mean, they should have won the game up here in Little John 2 years ago, and they lost that. They blew that. I might be fair to say they should not have won the other two. Obviously, we know what South Carolina's records turned out to be, but it might be fair to say that South Carolina should not have won the other two that they played. So, but 2-1 is Lamont's record against the Tigers, winning last year in overtime. That was a really good game, and then 2 years ago on a last-second shot. Now, I forget who the young man was that hit the shot. Does anybody remember off the top of your head? Who was the young man that hit the shot to win it in Lamont's first game, by the way? That was Lamont's very first game. They played Clemson in the season opener back in what is that, 03, 04, 04, 05? No, 02, 03, or 22, 23. 22. I always say 02, 03. That was my college years. But in 22, 23, Lamont's first year, his very first game, who was it who hit that shot and then was injured about the rest of the year? It was a guard. Normally, I'm good at remembering stuff like that. All right, 3-0. Asandiko hits one out of 2 free throws. So the Gamecocks up early. Good start. Right now, my plan is to only do this for the first half. That's kind of what I was leaning towards, doing it for the first half. So y'all weigh in with your thoughts and your opinions and what you see and what you hear and what you agree on. And we'll we'll see if South Carolina can pull off a game that, again, would be monstrous for the Gamecocks to go and win. Let's see here. I want to share this, get it out on the old Twitter machine. So let's make sure we get that. I'm a one-man band doing this here. No producer yet. So Tay, when you were asking about it, no, we ain't that deep involved. It's all me. I'm a one-man editing and producer band here. And all right, get another tweet out there. I'm gonna sneak. Sorry about that. Yeah, one man band going here tonight. Feel free to make your comments on the game as well. We'll do some more if they win more. If they win more and get competitive, we'll do more of this as we go through the season. All right, let's see if it also went out on Facebook. I'm having to go back and learn a lot of this stuff, and it did not. Gamecocks up 5-0. 3 minutes in, it's going to 17 minutes. We'll see. If they, oh boy, that's twice they've run that play and they've gotten exactly what they wanted. Godfrey Jr. is a very good post player. All right, we got something up on Facebook too now as well. So we'll see if we can draw some customers in. How about that? Draw some people in to hang out and watch this with us as we go through the evening, and at least the first half. Go through at least the first half. By the way, reminder tomorrow morning. 5-0. Reminder tomorrow morning, I'll be joining Jamie Bradford and Big Phil on the Chief Sports Network and on Jamie's program. We're going to do a special 9 to 10 a.m. hour where Jamie and I think we're qualified to talk about. You kind of look at the market. There's a lot of South Carolina historian people out there. Good steal there. But I think Jamie and I both growing up following South Carolina. Steve Tannehill's right in our kind of aging process, if you will. I think I was 10 years old, going on 11 when Tannehill came in and took the '92 season by storm. And so we're gonna honor him. We should. Steve Tannehill. South Carolina's going to need to do something specific, I think, to honor him as well, and not just doing a midfield, halftime ceremony. I really think that South Carolina needs to look at an area somewhere around the football stadium. Maybe whether you make an announcement that you're going to do it with that land, but a little area or something where you've got kind of a group of statues to honor certain players that maybe aren't good enough to have their number retired, and you only got so much space in the Williams-Brice Stadium. Ooh, a block call, blocking on Elijah Strong. Might have been too far in the lane, but I think you got to do something to honor guys. I mean, look, South Carolina's football history is quite limited, as we know. But I think you do something to kind of honor those people. Connor Shaw, Alshon's number's retired. Jadavian's number's retired. So maybe you got there's some other players that you could honor, quite frankly. and do it with some statues. They ain't got to be huge statues, but somewhere, if it's on the campus of where Williams-Brice Stadium is, that's really cool. I think that would be ideal. Um, and maybe you have that as a specific area for what we'll say is kind of second tier athletes who you're not retiring their jersey and they don't have their name in the stadium, and then you got a third tier that's maybe down whatever they do with that land down behind the athletic facility, and do something with that. So that's a thought. All right, we are at the commercial break, first commercial break here, and Gamecocks are up. Good start for them right now. 9-5, 15:32 to go in the game. A quick glance. Let's see here. Let's go to the stats, the live stats that we have here for the game, and I already had that pulled up. I knew I had it pulled up. So let's see here. Kobe Knox with 2 points. Mongolian Mike with 6, and then Asandiko with 1 free throw. The Gamecocks are 0 of 3 shooting the 3 ball right now. And again, that's what I talked about. I mean, they're going to shoot the 3, and they need to shoot the 3. That's their identity. That's who they are. That is what this team is 3-point shooters. They're supposed to be good 3-point shooters. They better be good 3-point shooters, and right now they're not. They're 31.3% now, a little bit lower because they're 0 for 3, but they haven't been. Nobody outside of Michi's really connecting in the manner that you would like and consistently. So that's something tonight. And I think, as I stated when we first opened this, you look at the big 3 games so far that South Carolina's played, and one of the major issues is the fact that South Carolina is, in those big 3, has shot below 30% against Butler, against Northwestern, against Virginia Tech. You can't do that. And those teams, Clemson is the best non-conference game South Carolina's played, the best non-conference game. There's a bunch of SEC teams in front of them as it pertains to the Ken Palm. But, this is a situation in which you've got to win one of these 4, and I hate that it comes down to the Clemson game, but, this at least kind of keeps you alive. I didn't read the stats on that. South Carolina 93 and 81 overall series lead in the last 3 games, decided by 10 total points. So it's been good games with Brunel and with Clemson over the last 3 years, and it looks like tonight, hopefully, I say that it's early, 14, just under 15 minutes to go in the first half. All right, there is Miles Studi. Now we got a 3, 1 of 4. Miles Studi bangs down a 3. Gamecocks go up 12-5. Studi's got the the bad guy villain mask on from breaking his nose and getting a concussion. And also, if you're just tuning in and haven't been paying attention or didn't know, Eli Ellis out tonight as he tries to recover from some of his injuries. So we'll see. Grant Polk also in the game tonight. I can't ever remember if he's Christian Polk or Grant Polk. Grant Polk. I love this. Let me tell you, number 13 for South Carolina, Grant Polk. I love this kid. I think this is the kind of kid you build your program with and what he's capable of doing. And, I think early on in his career, he's trying to figure things out a little bit, trying to be a freshman. He wasn't an elite freshman coming in, but he's a guy that I really, really like and would like to see develop. You talk about, all right, I think like Adam was asking, we get to the end of the season hadn't been as good. What are you looking for that maybe prompts you to keep Lamont Paris? Well, one of the things is the development of a guy like Grant Polk. And is he playing? Is he a guy that you can look at next year and go, okay, we have something here. We have a solid, keyword, SEC player, or, initials, however you want to say that. But, that's a big part of it, is that young man developing. And do you feel comfortable with his development, that he is a quality SEC player? As Clemson has banked in a 3 there. And here comes E.J. Walker now into the game, a guy that they were going to redshirt. They've changed their mind. They're now playing. And I liked him. I liked him when I've seen him, but this is his first big game appearance again tonight. Clemson's a good team. I think they'll have a successful season in the ACC, and I think they will likely make the NCAA tournament. So this is a game that if South Carolina wins, it would be nice to have on your resume. But as we learned last year and in year one of the Lamont Paris tenure, beating Clemson isn't the end all be all. It's nice to have in your back pocket as a bragging chip, but it really doesn't matter and doesn't affect the rest of your season. So. But it would be nice to have. But good to see E.J. Walker in there right now. Kobe Knox, Miles Studi, E.J. Walker, Grant Polk, and I think Mongolian Mike just checked in as well. So he'll be the fifth out there. And it looks like Jordan Butler is going to the scorers table as Clemson has now officially tied it up at 12. Yeah. All right. Butler checks in for Miles Studi as we sit here tonight. All right. Gamecocks inbound the ball, and we'll work it up the floor here. So early on, 12-12, being competitive, dealing with the Clemson defense. Clemson, one of the better defenses at limiting the other team's three-point shooting, which is not good given what I've been talking about with South Carolina shooting the three ball. And Foster's down holding his knee. Speaking of knees, what a weekend in the NFL, man. You lose Patrick Mahomes to a torn ACL. You lose Micah Parsons to a torn ACL. You lose he's trying to stand up, this kid, Foster, but he ain't going anywhere. You lose Devontae Adams to a torn hamstring. Just some studs of the league, stars of the league, and they go down. And especially Mahomes. I hate to see Mahomes go down. I don't mind seeing the Chiefs miss the playoffs. Totally different. Chiefs missing the playoffs. Good. Mahomes getting injured, man. I don't want to see great players get injured. I want to watch great players. I was a little tired of the Chiefs and I was a little tired of Mahomes, but I don't want to see him injured because I fear that he'll never be the same. And we get robbed of seeing an incredibly great player, which we have to suffer through. So. All right. They got Foster off the floor. Gamecocks now back on defense, tie ball game, and there's a foul on what appeared to be E.J. Walker as Clemson drove to the basket. So, yeah, that was a bad drive by Kobe Knox. Just drove right into three different guys. That's basketball IQ. I mean, that's just basketball IQ, knowing what to do and where to go with the ball and where the defenders are at and where they're not. And, you get it and you go right back into the grain as Clemson runs a great back cut there and then knocks down a three. Tigers now, I believe that is a 10-0 run for 9-5. Yeah. So Kellen hit that's 10-0 run, I believe, for the Tigers. I believe that's what that is now. But going back to the Kobe Knox drive, they were just showing again. Yeah, it's basketball. That's basketball IQ, knowing that you're going back into the grain, back into three defenders, and trying to slice them up, and you don't go anywhere. All right, there's a launch three that doesn't go. That's now 1 of 5, I believe, from 3-point range. So we're at 20%. Polk for 3, and he straight airballs it. So 1 of 6 is what South Carolina is, and we will hit the under 12 timeout. 11:48 to go. South Carolina now trails 15-12. The 3-point shooting is again. I had them 1 of 6. They're 1 of 7. I missed one somewhere in there. So opening the game shooting 14% from 3-point range. Again, not exactly hard to do. I get a text in from a buddy and says they make basketball hard to watch. Yeah, that's an understatement right now because this is you got a guy who just drove into the lane and Knox, drove into 3 different defenders, didn't work. So now you're settling for threes because you don't want to drive to the basket. I agree. That's not what you want. St. John's up on DePaul, 19-14. Might have to get the other TV going to watch Tennessee and Louisville coming up here, or maybe watch the second half on that. Let me come back to the StreamYard. And still the last comment we got is Tay referencing what I think is the football game, saying South Carolina went 5-0, and it was the Texas A&M game all over again. All right, appreciate y'all hopping in on the live stream tonight. Like I said, if we can, yeah, I'll come back to that. ACC, what in the world? But yeah, appreciate everybody who's come in. Make sure you click and subscribe to the channel. We've got some Tannehill stuff that's going to come out. And again, tomorrow morning, make sure you tune in to Jamie Bradford's show. I'll be on at 9 a.m. And we will do a big Steve Tannehill remembrance show. He and I will talk about our favorite memories. I got so many of Steve, and because he was right there, I knew who Sterling Sharp and Robert Brooks and Todd Ellis were, but I don't remember them playing. I don't remember like an actual game. Everything I've ever learned from those three is on highlight clips. But I remember Steve Tannehill. I remember going to the game against Mississippi State in 1992 and the win South Carolina had. I didn't understand it at the time. It wasn't until later that I realized that Mississippi State team was ranked and what the victory meant for the Gamecocks. I remember being there that year in 92 for the Halloween game against Tennessee that South Carolina would win. Hank Campbell would get the big stop down there on the 2-point conversion. And that was a lot of fun. And then watching the Clemson game where Tannehill really cemented his status with signing of the Tiger Paw. The signing of the Tiger Paw, signing of Clemson's Tiger Paw, and then his arms outstretched in that famous picture. So there's a lot I remember about 1992. And then obviously, the next few years didn't go quite as planned, but it did wrap up with a bowl victory for Steve and for the Gamecocks. So, a little yawn. Sorry about that. That kind of speaks to the excitement of this game, but still wanted to do this tonight. And as I've said, if South Carolina continues to win and stay competitive and competent, we'll do a few more as we go through the next several weeks. So action back on right at about the 11:30 mark, and Clemson launches a 3, doesn't go, and the Gamecocks have the rebound. So right now that's where we stand. I was going to bring up the ACC, and what is this stupid bleeping imbalanced schedule stuff where you've got some teams playing 9 games and some teams playing 8? What are we doing? How can you screw that up? Literally, how do you screw that up anymore? It's like the same people who are running Major League Baseball are running the ACC. How do we screw this up a little bit more? I mean, you got half of the conference playing 9 games, half of the conference playing 8 games. How does that help the college football playoff committee? How hard was that? Who came up with that idea? Water, by the way, just in a solo cup so I can throw it away. All right, I think South Carolina just missed another 3, which would make them 1 of 8. So not the start from 3-point range that you needed. It's unacceptable. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. 1 of 8 to start the game from 3-point range. If you're being honest with yourself, we're told this is a good shooting team, and they just flat out right now cannot get it done from 3-point range, and they have now fallen behind by 5, 17-12, with now under 11 minutes to go in this ball game. So we'll see here if South Carolina can get it cranked up from 3-point range. Also see if there's another bad 3 taken momentarily. No. Jump ball because of another basketball IQ move where South Carolina tries to go to the rim but just dribbles into guys. It's like watching Austin's 8th grade team, truthfully. Austin's not playing right now. My son, he's out with his own ACL injury. But it's honestly like watching my son's 8th grade team. Like, there's no concept of where to drive the basketball. There's just none. I mean, I've never seen a team, and I'm talking about South Carolina. I've never seen a team that drives into defenders better than they do. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing when you drive into defenders. Michi dribbles his off his foot. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. And then Sham Johnson just crushed a man. Is that Foster? If so, we're killing him. Literally, like. So Michi dribbles it off his foot. That was ugly. That's what I mean. Not a point guard. And then Sham Johnson may have broken that guy's arm. And now Lamont's showing some emotion. And I think they're going to look at see if this is there's a kid named Johnson. I think they're going to look at that to see if that's some kind of flagrant foul. Brad Burnell seems to think it was. Goodness. So 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the game. Clemson's up 5. We got an official review on Sham Johnson and the foul he just committed, where he just leaves his feet. Oh, that actually ain't bad at all. That's not flagrant. It's stupid. That's a really stupid foul. Yeah, call stands common foul. Johnson jumped into him. Yeah, I agree. One of the announcers saying the foul looked a lot worse than it really was. It really did look bad, but it wasn't. So Johnson will go to the foul line here with a chance to put the Tigers up 7. In South Carolina, let's just look real quick. They've been stuck on 12 for a while. It's a 16-3 run over the last 5 minutes and 22 seconds. And South Carolina has not scored, according to this, in the last 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Clemson is on a 13-0 run total in the last 4:18. South Carolina is a 13-0 run, and Clemson's on a 13-0 run, and South Carolina's not scored a singular point, and have committed 7 fouls too, by the way, which is impressive work. To be quite honest with you, that's not good. All right, he hits 1, so the Tiger lead is 6 now in this ball game. Michi at the point, Studi, Asandiko, and I believe that's EJ Walker in there, and Kobe Knox is your 5 out there for the Gamecocks at this moment. And we'll swing it around and throw it to Asandiko. I wouldn't say throw it in because he's way out there. You can't, as a big man, catch the ball. You can't post up and catch the ball near the 3-point line. That's not how it works. All right, EJ Walker for 3. No, sir. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe now makes it 1 of 9. Stats are behind. Stats are telling me they're going to be 2 of 10, and they're going to hit a 3 in a second. I don't know how y'all's TVs are coming along, but it's looking like 20-12 right now is the score. Sonico hit a 3. Good grief, boy! I tell you what, that's what you needed to break your cold streak there. Almost 5 minutes without scoring a point. That's the Mike Shula of college basketball offenses. And Clemson goes right around our guy and gets a layup to make it now a 7-point game. So thank you for joining tonight. I'm not done yet. We're going to get through this first half, this final 8 minutes, and then I'll turn you loose to go do something with the family or something. I'll kind of relax myself and enjoy it. We had a good radio show today. Some really good stuff from Dave Bartu, if you want to go back and listen to it on the analytics. And South Carolina, by the way, I'll retweet in a little while the conversation we had with Dave Bartu. But, part of it, what he was talking about is South Carolina athletics as a whole has signed up for his matrix analytics, in which they come out to the state of South Carolina and they run some different little camps and different little things. And their goal is to find young players, 7th, 8th graders, that look like they're going to have the potential to be a college player. And when you find that, it gives you a chance to get ahead of the game recruiting them. And then if they do develop into college player, you've been recruiting them since 7th grade. I don't know what Michi just did. I just, between the legs, step back 3 from the wing as if that's a good shot. That's now 2 of 11 from 3-point range. And my group text is going off. I don't know. I was going to say no attempt to drive the ball, but quite honestly, I've watched him try and drive the ball, and that's been ugly too. Can't drive it, can't shoot it. Don't have an interior post game. That's hard to score points. That's hard. That's hard. And there's no one to blame but the coaching staff because they went out and picked their groceries, transfer portal, if you will, picked their groceries for the 2026 season. And this is what they'll have to work with. And while I don't think the SEC is great this year, I think they might be the 5th best conference behind the Big 10, the Big 12. I think it was pretty set in stone that it was. I shouldn't say the 5th best, but it was the 4th best because I think the Big East was further back. Even though the Big East, it goes to tell you the depth of the Big East because you got UConn and Houston, who are top 10 teams, and I believe the Big East was a full 3 points behind the SEC as it pertained to conference RPI rankings, conference KenPom, conference RPI, but South Carolina's, and that's the thing. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt. By the way, did y'all hear the stat? I don't know how many people that are on here listen to the radio show I do, and I would like to find a team that has South Carolina's resume that in 2008, 2009, under Darren Horn's first year, had double-digit conference wins, had 20-plus wins and double-digit conference wins, and then in 2015, 2016, had 20-plus wins and double-digit conference wins, and still didn't get in the NCAA tournament. I guarantee you there's no team out there who had 2 of those happen over a 10-year period and didn't get into the NCAA tournament. I mean, do you know how ridiculous that is? To be a high major school, to be in the SEC, and in 1 year, if it was to happen once, it's insane. But it's happened to South Carolina twice from 08, 09 to 15, 16, where South Carolina was 24-8 in 2015, 2016. And that's the year they should have gone to the NCAA tournament. And that's the year that supposedly they accidentally called they accidentally called the SEC and meant to call they called South Carolina and meant to call Southern Cal. So, all right, this is Brad Burnell in the game. Career victory number 300. ACC coaches with 300 career wins: Krzyzewski, Dean Smith, Roy Williams, Gary Williams, Leonard Hamilton, Tony Bennett, Bobby Crimmins, Lefty Driesell, Terry Holland, and Brad Burnell. How about being on that list? It's a solid little list to be on. No complaints there, right? That's pretty good. I keep wanting to. I'll take a pause, and I keep wanting to give out the radio, the telephone number, because it's kind of what I do when I transition to things. All right, Gamecocks. Look at this. We're trying to go down low. Go down low. Asandiko. Yeah. Oh, he misses the layup. All right. Kapich is in the game now. He dives on the floor. There we get up and create a tie ball. Yeah. This can't make threes. Can't make layups down low. It's a tough combination. A tough combination there. You can't make threes and you can't make layups. think our defense is okay so far tonight. It's not ridiculous. 22, holding Clemson to 22 points through the first 13 minutes is not bad at all. Oh my God. Who thinks that's a good shot? Our 7-footer Asandiko shooting with his heels on the back of the freaking Clemson ball. I mean, this is the problem. This is the problem. Yeah, thank you. You like going back inside. And not only do we shoot a three, we shoot a three with the heel. That's what makes it hard to watch. That's why maybe this is kind of entertaining because you get to see me overreacting. And I got to fire again. Again, this is kind of our setup tonight. Put that up. It's kind of our setup here. The sunroom out there, normally where we watch games, but too cold. But we got the fire and the Christmas tree a little crooked. And then our little Santa area over there. With my Santas on them and white poinsettias and red. But I mean, just ridiculous to take a three for your 7-footer who's not a great 3-point shooter, not a great one. But there you go. Like you said, good backdoor cut. There you go. Great setup. Yeah, man. There you go. That's what you got. And they need more of that. It seems like they're lacking so many times in some kind of just simple set play like that to get a guy open, to get a basket when you need it. I mean, this team's got 5 points. We scored 5 points in about the last 8 minutes of the game. That's not good. And part of it is because they don't have a go-to play that gets somebody a wide open layup or look in the lane. There's no set plays that gets them that. By the way, I was looking at, you can't see it. I bought nude lamps not too long ago. I got a nice little white one over there. Studio with a fadeaway. Now they're getting hot. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, setup's pretty good. Downstairs, fireplace. I'm gonna buy a sound bar. I was looking last night. I think a sound bar. My living room's not huge, and I think for Christmas I'm gonna buy a sound bar that'll go with this TV. I don't know if anybody's got suggestions on what to get, but I looked at a Bose. Bose is supposed to be pretty good with sound, obviously, whether it's speakers or headphones. That's nice. That's a good take there by Strong. But I do need to get a sound bar. And then Ansley's little dog, my daughter's little dog, I keep this ottoman that's in front of me. And it's ripped to shreds, but I keep it because the dog jumps on it and jumps off and jumps on it and jumps off and rips up the ottoman. I'm like, well, no point in buying a new one if the little dog's claws are gotta get those cut and trimmed. Now they're showing that play setup that we were talking about. That was a good look, good job by South Carolina there. Those are the kind of things you got to have designed and set to get some points in certain situations. And another three, and the rims. Yeah. Capich. And Clemson buries one. Top 3 for high, mid, and low range. Oh yeah, you're talking about the. Yeah, I will. I Googled it. There's a bunch because it's Christmas time. A bunch of people are putting out their top sound systems. I don't think I need a surround sound system because it's not big in here. I think a sound bar would do just fine. And really, I'm using it for sports. And Clemson shoots a little floater, and that goes in. And now we're starting to fall behind, 29-19. Clemson was a 12.5-point favorite coming into this game, and South Carolina at one point was up 12-5, and has now been outscored 24-7. I have to go back and look since what minute marker that was, what precisely that was. Let's see if we can find it here. Let us go to the play-by-play with 4:02 to go here in the first half and see where we can go back to. How do I expand this? Is there a way to expand it? been a long time since I've used the StatCast from South Carolina. It's on the website. Doesn't look like it goes back that far. I'm sure it'll be available after the game. All right, let's look at the stats here. So, through the first 16 minutes of the half, South Carolina shooting 33% from the field, 8 of 24. All right, well, they're good news. They're over 30% from the field. They are shooting 14% from three-point range. South Carolina's 2 of 14. That's not good. Clemson is 11 of 21 from the field. That's 52%. And the Tigers are 4 of 6, 75% from three-point range. Right now, Tigers are out-rebounding the Gamecocks 15-12. Clemson has 6 assists. South Carolina has 5 assists. Clemson has 4 turnovers, and South Carolina with just 3 at the moment. So there's kind of your most recent update on kind of what's going on as it pertains to the statistical aspect of the game. South Carolina right now, Kobe Knox has played all but 1 minute of the game. He's played 15 minutes, and Michi's played 14. And Michi is yet to score. He's only taken 2 shots. Michi Johnson has 2 assists and 2 turnovers, but he is yet to score in this ball game. And he's played 14 minutes. That's a concerning stat for the Gamecocks as well. So there's some stats there as we go to the final 4 minutes of the half. Might keep this going through the second half. Just give a little halftime break to go over and just watching South Carolina. I agree, it's frustrating. I mean, 2 of 14 from three-point range. And I agree there. Yeah, they're not a good rebounding team. Don't attack the basket. You got look, again, your 7-footer a little while ago took a 3 with his heels on the orange paw. So not only was he not on the interior to rebound, but he was so far out, there's no way he could have gotten in there to even be a part of the rebound. It's ridiculous. Oof. And K-Patch did a horrible job of getting out there to pick up the Clemson player shooting the three-pointer. All right, Michi Johnson's out right now. Good cut by Kobe Knox and a basket. Look at that. Go inside for a layup, get a basket. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? And by the way, to Toy's discussion, what he's saying there, yeah, we didn't have anybody around for that rebound. It's almost a 5-out kind of system, which I don't like. I mean, a lot of teams, I don't mind a 4-around-1, and we run that sometimes now. But our 1 has no problem popping out the launch at 3. Let's see who's in the lane now. Capich, Grant Polk doesn't know where to go, and Elijah Strong drives in and gets fouled. Okay, 29-21. But I don't know. This team again. I don't know what exactly they practice, but this is a good job by Kobe Knox. Kind of faked the screen and slipped under, got in, made the layup with his length. And again, he's playing a lot tonight. 15 minutes or 16 minutes now for him in this game. And we brick a free throw. Elijah Strong can't make a free throw. If you're going to be 2 of 14 from three-point range, you need to make a three-pointer. Need to make a free throw. He's 1 of 5. Strong's 1 of 5 tonight. It's the second one. All right. 3 minutes to go. Need to get it within 4. Need to get it within 4. You're down 7. Here in the final 3 minutes. Go to the break, down no more than 4, and I think you feel good about yourself. I mean, it'd be kind of one of those things like you can't possibly continue to shoot this bad from three-point range, can you? You can't. I mean, you can. Lord knows they have. Against the Citadel the other night, what is it? They didn't hit a 3 the entire first half. Ugh. They always look so angry. Hayden Simeon checking in. Hadn't seen him tonight. Get it to 4 because it's a possession and a 3. Right now you're down 7 and the end of the first half, Steven. By getting it to 4, you're down. You feel comfortable where you're at. I think I always drew the line at 5. 5 was, even though it was still within 2 possessions when I coached, and the different situations, apples to oranges at times. But mine was always, I didn't like being down 5 or more. I always wanted stuff within 4. I felt like I could draw up a play and score a basket, and I kind of counted on my team to make a defensive stop and get a basket, and we got the game tied back up. Defense is questionable at most on that. I think I mentioned this, but Hayden Simeon is checked in now. Number 20. Not sure how I feel about him right now. He hustles. He's another guy kind of like Grant Polk, I think. He's another guy that I think, you feel like there's a foundation with. You get this day and age, if you bring in a new coach, who knows if any of these kids will stick around, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. I mean, you lose certain players who just run out of eligibility finally. But, the bottom line is getting a guy in. Oh, there's a bowl game tonight. The salute to, Jacksonville and Troy. How about that? Bowl game number 2 of the year. No, I agree. Yeah, I was saying this earlier. Just because you can handle the ball doesn't make you a point guard. Michi's not a point guard. His cousin is coming in. His cousin's a legitimate point guard, but just being able to handle the ball doesn't mean, hey, we got a point guard. And then nobody gets back. So you get fouled. Kobe Knox probably gets fouled. Probably should have been called. By the way, if y'all think this is tame compared to how I act when I coach a basketball game, that was a foul, but Kobe Knox wasn't. Kobe Knox got mugged when he was down there a minute ago. But nobody gets back. Nobody got back on that. If you're watching this as I'm watching it, again, you feel free to have your input, and opinions are those of the people that are in this chat. Nobody else is. It's what I think and only what I think. I don't speak for anybody else. I speak only for me. But I mean, that's kind of basketball IQ. Hey, another 3. It's cool. It's cool. 2 of 15. At some point, is there a point? Have we already surpassed it where they're just? That was a bad 3 too from Clemson. Is there a point where you're just? Yeah, look at. There's another basket on the interior. Shamjant's. I think there's a. Let's see. It says shooting. I'm looking at a breakdown of shots and how they're made, where they're made, and because I mean South Carolina's done a decent job. I mean, look, he's going to make the free throw. Having the stats up while I'm doing this is a little pain in the rear because I learned too quick. Hey, got it to 5 right now. That's what I'm saying. Get a stop right here. You can get it to within 3. And in a half where you're sitting at 2 of 15, they're going to get another 3 off. Don't worry, they're going to be 2 of 16 from 3-point range. The same record of SEC play last year. Did I say that? Oh, Michi's got it, and he's across half court. It's going up. Pass it to anybody that's on our team. That a boy. Good grief. I don't know. I gotta ask tomorrow if I'm allowed to curse on my personal live stream, which is why I'm doing it. Because you do not do that. You're a 7 foot. You don't dribble and then try and throw a one-handed pass like underneath the goal. You're down 5. What? Who does he think he is? Legitimately, what's going through his mind that thinks, hey, this is part of my game. I can dribble to the right. I'm going to be able to throw a one-handed pass across the baseline to the far corner. Back down 7. Whether it was a block or not, I mean, that's like me going, I'm 5'6". I think my driver's license says I'm 5'7". Doesn't matter. You don't do it. If you can't do it, don't do it. It's not street ball. There's nobody, by the way. Well, Simeon crashed. No. I feel like they should be down double digits. All right, so we don't get the basket again. That would have been big to get it back to 5. All right, we'll keep rolling with this for a little while. I'm not going to cut you off just yet. Just keep it. It's giving me something to do. Keeping me entertained. But all right, first half. If you haven't been here, if you're just now tuning in, I've been pretty. I'd like to say I've been pretty vocal and pretty active in my opinions of how this game is going. South Carolina goes to the break. I think it's 2 of 15. 2 of 15 from 3-point range, 13.3%. I don't know what the number is to get it over 30. I don't know how that math works out. You shoot another 15. You got to make 13 of them to get you to 50%. Let's see. If you shoot another 15, another 15 is 30. So if you go 8 of 15, if you go right at 50% in the second half, that's 10 of 30. So that's what it would be. So you got to go 8 for your next 15, which you will likely shoot. Duke is trailing. Let's see here. They're probably taking the lead, but Duke and Lipscomb are locked in a battle. Up at Cameron Indoor. Duke looks like, yeah, Duke's got it going now. They're up 13. Okay. Duke got it going. ACC Network. I think Tennessee and Louisville are playing, but I don't see any updates. Or maybe I looked up and it's a 9 o'clock game. All right. Anyway, first half recap. Let's see. Let's look at the stats here. All right. So Kobe Knox plays 18 minutes, has 2 turnovers, assist, a rebound, 1 rebound. Tell you what, man, to play 18 minutes of a half and take 3 shots, only grab 1 rebound, grab 1 assist, and then have 2 turnovers. That's a light stat line to play the most minutes out of anybody. Even if you turn it over 4 times, at least you're doing something. He doesn't have any fouls. He's got a rebound and he's got one assist, and he's taken 3 shots, and that's in 18 minutes of action. I mean, Meechie Johnson, at least Meechie's taken 2 shots. He's got 2 rebounds. He's got 2 assists. He's got a foul and 2 turnovers in 14 minutes. Asondako's not. I'm kind of getting on his rear end. Need to be careful what I say. He'll try to track me down at radio station and squish me. But 9 minutes, 5 rebounds. That's what you want from him. An assist, a foul, a turnover. He shot 2 free throws. He shot 1 of 2 from 3-point range. He's 1 of 2 guys. The Gamecocks are 2 of 15 from 3-point range. He's one of the guys that's made a 3. Meechie's 0 for 2. Miles Studi's 1 for 2. Grant Polk's 0 for 1. Jordan Butler's 0 for 1. Kobe Knox is 0 for 1. EJ Walker's 0 for 1. K-Pitch is 0 for 1. Elijah Strong's 0 for 2. And Shamar Johns is 0 for 2. Team effort. It really is a team effort when you look at it. Sham Johnson's got 5 rebounds also, by the way. Nobody has more than The only person who's got 2 is Michi. Nobody has more than 1 after that. Studi, Butler, Knox, Elijah Strong. Turnovers. Done a good job. Just 5 turnovers. 2 for Johnson, 2 for Knox, and 1 for Asandiko. You look at it, not a lot of fouls called right now. 7 on Clemson and 10 on South Carolina. That's about right for the first half. 5 free throws for the Gamecocks, 7 for Clemson. Clemson's 4 of 9 from 3-point range. Clemson's shooting 50% for the game, 13 of 26. South Carolina's 39.3% for the game right now. Clemson is out rebounding South Carolina. No, South Carolina came back on that. South Carolina's got 17 rebounds. Clemson's got 16. Clemson's got 4 turnovers. South Carolina's got 5. Statistically speaking, this game looks close. Once again, your knowledge of sports, Stephen, is so bad. Or I know you're a smartass. I do get it. I'm not, but like, you just don't grasp like concepts of get it to this number or someone being a co-OC. And I love you for it. I love that you come around. I love that you text me. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Hard-headed, old. What else are you? Hard-headed and old? My goodness. Oh, it's 7 points, but the stats are essentially, aside from the 3-point shooting, is even. So if the stats are even and you're down 7, what does that tell you? You're right. You're right, Adam. I agree. Michi's inconsistent. Michi's inconsistent. Exactly. You're right. The stats are even, and yet you're down 7. And you were down 10, 29-19. So you did a good job of kind of keeping it close there when it looked like Clemson was going to run away. All right. I ask you this: the line was. Let's look up. Let's do this. Let's look up the second half line real quick. Anybody want to guess the second half line before I get to it? Opening line was 12.5. Opening line was minus 12.5. Let's see here. Premium live. It's not really entertaining for me to look at right now. All right. We can bet on some G League games if we want. Wisconsin Herd and Iowa Wolves. All right. South Carolina. Tennessee's up 32-27 on Louisville. Going to the break. I might have to move the TV. I might have to move a second TV so I can watch that. I wanted to watch that. St. John's is up 39-28. Tennessee, Louisville, by the way, second half line. Tennessee's minus 5.5 on that. South Carolina. Here we go. So the line's still the same. Minus now the number on it's a little bit different. It's 12.5. So the line is still the same, but South Carolina is minus 126 plus the 12.5. Clemson's minus 115. So getting a little bit better odds with the Tigers there on that 34-27. So there you go. There's a little second half. A little gambling talk, a little Billy Billions. I think I figured out the problem with Billy Billions is I haven't set that character properly. Oh, I was talking about for the game. I was talking about for the game. I'm sorry, not 5 for the second half. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was talking about for the game. Let's see what my son wants in the text message here. Let's pick him up. What do we got here? Tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Vanderbilt, Memphis tomorrow night. Well, I tell you what, I don't know how much y'all pay attention to college basketball. Some of y'all, I think, do. People are dogging Penny Hardaway in the roster he's put together with Memphis, which features Zach Davis, which has Zach Davis on it. Davis has played a little bit better for them lately. I'm watching Peyton's Toll House cookie commercial. Yeah, we got to get Billy Billions. I think the problem, I'm sorry, I got distracted by my son texting me. What my kids don't understand what time I do a radio show. He wants me to pick him up from school at 12:25. That's the second time I've been asked about one of my kids today. About picking them up when I'm on the radio show. Clearly, they didn't pay attention. They didn't get the memo that Dad switched back in July. I know I was out for 2 months essentially, but clearly my kids don't mind. My kids don't realize I work. I think all these Christmas presents are free. Love them though. Love them. By the way, we got blown out. We got blown out by Beechwood Middle School last night. Apparently, Gilbert's 8th grade team got blown out 60 to. I might don't say that. I'm not gonna say that publicly. I was gonna say well, I'll say it. I've been joking around setting spreads on these games, and I said last night was 25. We were 25-point underdogs. We lost by 26. I think I'm getting pretty good at. Tay was asking earlier about a new career. I think my next career is going to be trying to be Robert De Niro in Casino. Frank, what was that? Frank, what? I don't remember. By the way, now that some of y'all are here, now there's a few more people. Does anybody remember the name of the player who hit the shot to beat Clemson the first year? The very first game of Lamont Paris's tenure? I need to go back and look. He played a little bit. I thought he was actually a decent pickup for somebody in the transfer portal. I can't remember if it was Frank or if it was Lamont. But whoever it was came in, and I thought it was a decent pickup. And then he got injured. He was supposed to be a good 3-point shooter, and he hit the shot against Clemson. So that right there makes him forever a legend. You can just beat Clemson. Who was this kid? Who was this cat in 2022, 2023? That was the G.G. Jackson year. God, I forgot about Josh Gray. Chico Carter averaged 30 minutes a game and averaged 9 points a game. Played in 25 games. I thought he was a decent pickup. I forgot Daniel Hankins Sanford played for us that year. He played 22 games and averaged 8 minutes. He's gone on to have he's had a good little career for Frank up at UMass. That might be, yeah, thank you, Stephen. Give you credit for that. Yeah, Chico Carter. Jeez, Darian Peterson's not playing again tonight for Kansas. So beginning to become, he's a myth of some sorts. All right, we're going to come back here to the second half. I tell you what, all right, but hey, Steven, if you haven't left, I kind of want to know, are you taking the Gamecocks minus or plus 12.5 in the second half? Or are you taking the Tigers? What's everybody put your prediction in now? The people that are watching, what are you taking? Put your money where your mouth is, literally. I kind of lean Clemson minus the 12.5. I think coming down the stretch, South Carolina start launching threes left and right, more so than they already are. It'll open the door for Clemson to cover the 12.5. So I'm talking about the game. I'm talking about the game spread, not the halftime spread. I mean, it's what the spread is still at halftime for the game. 12.5 hadn't moved at all. So you're not winning if you take anything there. So, all right. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to leave you staring at a beautiful fire. I'm going to get me some more water for the second half. Really should. All right, Steven's taking the Gamecocks. He's going minus. Steven's taking the Gamecocks in the second half. Gamecocks are plus 12.5 for the game. We're talking game spread now. Gamecocks are plus 12.5. Billy Billions. My sunglasses are in the car. Trying to look buff. How's that look? That's better. Did I turn the hat around? Rally cap. Billy Billions takes the Tigers. which actually is probably a good thing for the Gamecocks. All right, stare at the fire. Enjoy yourself. Immerse yourself with good basketball thoughts, with a Christmas tree and a fire. You're going to see me walk in front of it for a second because I guess the way I got it set up, it was a dumb idea. All right, let me go get some water. Get some water and get ready for the second half. Everybody, quick break. Discuss amongst yourselves the Battle of 1812, or War of 1812. All right, here we go. We're back. Roy Philpott and Mark Wise. No bourbon. What is today? Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, I agree, Tay. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's amazing. It feels like we're down a lot more. No bourbon tonight, though. No. We're kind of limited on that now. We don't. I've been told by the doctors I can have a drink. Can't go crazy. Can't go back to the way it used to be. It creates a lot more free time. Why do you think I'm doing these videos now? There's a lot more free time on my hands. 2 of 15. Like 2 of 15. All right. Let's check on my son for a second. We might have to pull in Austin, my son, to get his. He's turning into a good little sports guy. He understands. Kids understand so much more these days than we did. All right, here we go. Let's see what we do. Over 3-pointer to start the possession. Yes or no? Put it in now. Go. We got a couple people in. Does South Carolina shoot a 3-pointer to start the second half? Yes or no? Go. Get them in. Yes or no? It's pretty simple. Put your comment in. Yes or no? South Carolina launches a 3. Sham Johnson's got it. He was thinking about it. If your answer was yes, good call. Good call, Tay. Yes. We shot a 3, and we did not. Miles Stu did not make it. That now makes us a nice 2 for 16. 2 of 16. Those are not gunner shooting numbers, folks. It's not gunner shooting numbers. Two, and Michi launches 3, number 17, and it is no good. So if you had 2 threes to start on the first 2 possessions, you were correct. South Carolina is now 2 of 17. So when do we say, are we there that this is not a good shooting team? Have we reached that point? Like, are we in agreement that this is? They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be, but they're not. I mean, they were 3 of 23 the other night against Citadel. So they're 2 of 17. So they're 5 for the last 40. 5 for the last 40 from 3-point range. At what point do we say, no, that's who they are? At what point is that the zebra stripes and that's who they are? Tigers up 8, 35-27. All right, keeping track of some of these stuff. Are we way past admitting that? All right, just keeping track of some of the little side exchanges we have so far. Steven has taken South Carolina plus the 12.5 in the second half. I've got Clemson minus 9.5. Tay has now hit. Yes, South Carolina will shoot a 3 to start the half. They did indeed do that, and then they shot another 3 just in case they were worried about it. He took a second one. And okay, now we're going inside. Big fella. How did he end up on the floor? how did Asandiko end up on the floor? Sandico's a big fella. He had all his momentum going to the rim, and Davidson goes straight up, and Asandiko somehow ends up on his booty. How does that happen? All right, I get this plugged back in. Give me 2 seconds, please, so that we can continue live streaming. Also, I want to put out a tweet that we are still live streaming. Let's do that real quick since I said only for a half. But we continue to live stream. Let's see. As I was saying earlier, I'm a one-man band here, like producer, editor. All right, a little tweet out there so that we still are doing this. No, turnover. I say this, Asandiko, you talking about Asandiko, his shot is slow. Boy, he thinks he's a 7-foot ball handler, doesn't he? He thinks he's a jack of all trades. He's not having a bad night. He's actually not. This is the kind of, I mean, if this is what you're going to get from him. By the way, Michi still hasn't scored tonight. I know Adam said earlier that Michi's inconsistent. You're down 6 with essentially probably your best player not scoring at this point and being really a complete non-factor. But I want to go back to Asandiko. If this is the kind of performance you're getting from him, that's pretty livable. I can get on board with that with the big fella. I'm realistic about it. He's not going to be an NBA. He's not an NBA dude. He doesn't have the skill for that. But he's big. He's rebounding well. Last I looked, I think he's got 6. 6 rebounds. Greg Buckner's kid. Great story. Larry Shyatt told me once. Oh my goodness. Just throws it out of bounds. Great story Larry Shyatt told me one time on Greg Buckner, Jason Williams White Chocolate, and Austin Crozier. So if you don't know, Rick Barnes is coming from Providence to Clemson. And they've already got Austin Crozier signed. They've got Jason Williams signed. And they've got this kid named Greg Buckner. And so anyway, Rick Barnes takes the job, and he thinks they're going to let all 3 of those guys out of their letter of intent. Well, they actually do. Providence decides to let all 3 guys out. Austin Crozier decides he wants to stay at Providence. That's the school he wants to go to. He goes on to have a very good career at Providence. Nice move there by Kobe Knox. He goes on to have a very good career at Providence, and then a nice little NBA career with the Pacers, I believe. Jason Williams says, Coach, talking to Rick Barnes, I'll follow you wherever. Where do you want to go? We're going to Clemson? Okay. Well, Jason Williams couldn't get into Clemson. He had to go, probably couldn't get into anywhere, but he goes to one of the military academies in Virginia. And they tell him, this is what Larry Shyatt said. He said they go meet with him up in West Virginia before he goes. And they said, hey, just get through this year. Get through. It's going to be tough. This is not going to be easy. You're not going to like this. But please, please, please just get through it. And he said that Jason Williams was like, all right, Coach, whatever I got to do, I'll get through it. And he goes up there, and within 5 days, they get a phone call from Jason Williams upon arriving at, I think it was Virginia, I think it was Fort Union, I think is where he went. Anyway, but he gets up there, he leaves the school. He can't do it. 5 days in, he's gone. He's actually hitchhiked down the side of the mountain. I've been up there. I've seen the prep school. He's hitchhiked down the side of the mountain. He's at a gas station at a payphone, and he says, Coach, I'm not doing it. I'm not coming there. Well, he goes to Marshall, obviously. Prop 48 kid goes to Marshall. And then as we all know, he ended up going on to Florida to play for Billy Donovan. But with that being said, so they lose out on Crozier. They lose out on Jason Williams, two guys they were extremely confident about. Another guy that they meet in the airport, this is Larry Shyatt and Rick Barnes. This is whatever year Rick Barnes took the job. Is they're coming down for the press conference. They're walking through the airport up there in Greenville. Who do they run into? Kevin Garnett, of all people. They know who Kevin Garnett is. Kevin Garnett does not know who they are. They said Rick grabbed Kevin Garnett in the airport and it's like, hey, Kevin, I know you're from right around here in Greenville, Malden, as we all know, and we'd love to have you at Clemson. We're going to build something special because I got a point guard coming in, Jason Williams. I got a big guy coming in, Austin Crozier. We're going to pair you with Crozier. We're going to have Jay Will at the point. We're going to get you a shooting guard. We're going to be great. We're going to be really, really good. It's going to be the biggest, best thing ever. And so Kevin Garnett says, well, I'm going back to Farragut. I'm going back to Chicago, but I will come down and take an official visit for you. They never heard from him again after he got on that plane. So Kevin Garnett. So anyway, I say all this because the guy they ended up with was Greg Buckner, of all things. And they were like, oh, boy, the four guys we thought we could get. Larry told me that they get in the limo. Clemson is at the limo to the Greenville airport. They get in the limo, and there's champagne in there, and they're drinking and some beers, and they're drinking on the way to Greenville for the press conference. And they're celebrating. They're like, we're going to win a national championship. We got Jason Williams. They're convinced now they're going to get Kevin Garnett. They're going to bring down Austin Crozier. They're going to have Jason Williams. They're going to have other guys. And, of course, they end up not getting any of them. But they get some dude named Greg Buckner who ended up going on to be extremely good and being obviously ultra talented. Got a buddy of mine texting me. It must be a 9th grade game or something. But anyway, so they end up with Greg Buckner. We all know the career that Greg Buckner went on to have, and the big things he did for Clemson basketball. So anyway, that's a little story from my days of going scouting and getting to hang out with coaches and hear their backstories on different things. But Greg Buckner was the guy that Clemson didn't, that Rick Barnes and Larry Shyatt didn't want, and went on to a great career. I think got a cup of tea with the Mavericks, if I remember. Went to Dallas for a little bit and got a cup of tea before not making it in the league. All right, we're back here. 37-31, 15-32 to go. Let's look again at these stats here because as we get going, it's now South Carolina 2 of 17 from three-point range, 11.8%, 5 of 7 from the foul line, and 37.5% from the field. Clemson's 46.7 from the field, 7 of 11 from the foul line, and 4 of 10 from three-point range, and they just make 2 free throws to make it 39-31. Somebody sent me the Gilbert varsity score against Aiken. And it's not going well for those of you that were wondering about that. Yeah, no Eli Ellis tonight. Dude, Elijah Strong spins back in the middle. You're going right. You got to have a spin move. If you're going to go right, you normally someone sitting to your left. I mean, that should be your if you're going, if you're going right and you're going to do a spin move back into the lane, your common basketball knowledge should tell you there's somebody waiting there somewhere for you. Especially when you're down on the low block and you're trying to spin. When you can't face up and see what's in front of you, when you're going to your right and you spin back left, common knowledge should tell you that somebody is over. If you're going, is somebody sitting on your left shoulder? So when you spin back right, but apparently we didn't have it. Doesn't matter. He hit the free throw, 39-32, and then front end's the next one. So could have gotten it back to 6 there. 15 minutes. Now we hit the 15-minute mark here of this game. South Carolina's in it. I don't disagree with Steven. I think South Carolina's in it. It's just, can they hold on? Can they make a run? Can they get the offense go? Can the three-pointers start falling for the Gamecocks? And now you've got a dude hitting a jumper and what I believe is going to be a foul on Kobe Knox. And it's just basketball IQ, ladies and gentlemen. It's so many dumb things basketball IQ wise. I couldn't play the game great. 5, 6 people typically. I better have had some kind of athleticism or something. But I have belief in myself of knowledge how to coach a game and how to coach guys in practice. And I'm not saying Lamont doesn't, but that is part of scouting and getting guys with basketball IQ. And I'll say this: Eli Ellis has a lot of basketball IQ. That's how he gets and makes and does what he is able to do. Michi, on the other hand, is wildly athletic and has more skill than an Eli Ellis, but the basketball IQ isn't there. And I mean, we're kind of seeing that tonight as Michi is again yet to score. Michi's sitting there right now with 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3, and there's another turnover. 0 of 3 is Michi from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a foul, and 3 turnovers in 21 minutes. Getting absolutely nothing from the player that you absolutely have to get something from. And Kobe Knox throws one into the stands. How many turnovers? I can't remember how many turnovers for South Carolina tonight so far. It feels like they're starting to pile up here a little bit. Gamecocks now with 11 turnovers. Clemson with 5. So the turnovers by team, they're starting to add up a little bit now as the Gamecocks have 11. Kobe Knox, who handles the ball a good bit, has 4. Michi with 3, and Shamjans with 2. They all lead the team. So 3 of your ball handlers really. As Knox is getting more minutes with no Eli Ellis, he's getting an opportunity, but it ain't working really to our advantage. The other 2 turnovers are between Asandiko and Miles Studi as well, but 11-5 on that. So double-digit turnovers and 11% from 3-point range. Now the stats are starting to add up to where we're sitting here with this game. Yeah, I disagree with that. That ball handlers are different than point guards. Um, you got ball handlers, but that's a totally separate category. Being a ball handler doesn't mean you're a point guard. That's what I've tried to say for the entire season. And they've got guys who can handle the ball, but their mentality is not how to pass, where to pass, how to get guys open, what to do to run an offense. That's a point guard. And again, South Carolina's got guys who can handle the ball. That's not a problem, but they don't have anybody who can run an offense. I'll go back. I'll go back to Frank Martin's last few years. I think if Frank Martin goes out and gets just a point guard, just a true legitimate point, he kept trying to shove guys into that pitch into that point guard role. I mean, I'll give you another one. Jermaine Cousinard was a ball handler. He wasn't a point guard. He wasn't a point guard. You know, if you think back at it, I think maybe one of the worst things that happened for Frank was that as they came through that Final Four season and got late in the season, he kind of turned to Sindarius, who's not a point guard, to run point, and it worked. And it worked, And so with that in mind, he all of a sudden started trying to shove these guys that weren't point guards into the point guard role. AJ Lawson, Cousinard, he lost obviously Ra Felder, because Ra Felder just was a hothead that did some really just dumb stuff. But if I think I will contend to this day, if Frank goes out and gets a legitimate point guard post Final Four, South Carolina makes 2 more NCAA tournaments. But he didn't have a legitimate point guard to go along with what was actually some legitimate post play in Chris Silva. And they were okay in the post. They had some decent players there, but he didn't have a guy that, as I just said, would come in. And you think about Frank's best teams, he got away with it with Sindarius, and he also had PJ Dozier, and then they had Ra Felder. So they had, even though I don't think Sindarius was a point guard, they had PJ and they had Ra Felder at the point guard spot, and that really got them through. And I know you're thinking maybe PJ's going to stay another year. Ra Felder is not going to be a dumbass and go down and start spitting on women and cussing them out and threatening to fight people. But he did. He did. And so then you go to a Hassani Gravett, who was not a point guard. And then you went to, again, AJ Lawson, not a point guard. And then you went to Jermaine Cousinard, not a point guard. Not bad players, mind you. Lawson has gone on to have a nice NBA career. Gravett's had a nice NBA career. I don't know what's going on with Cousinard. I'm guessing he's done, finally. I'm guessing. Leads up to 11 there, Steven. 43-32. 13, a lot of time to go, 14 minutes. But should be pointed out that lead is now shoving up on 12 and a half. I don't know what to think of Elijah Strong, by the way. He's wanting a foul now. He's saying he got held. Let's see if we get a replay on that. Let's see if we can get some kind of replay. A lot of complaining from a guy who's really not good enough to complain. Just sit down. Just sit down and calm down. Is he crying? God, I hope he's not crying. Yeah, what is he bleeping complaining about? You can't grab a guy and cover up Clemson. What, yeah, the Clemson guy grabbed him. He did too. I get it, but Strong fouled him first. Yeah, the Clemson guy fouled him, but Strong fouled him first. I thought Asondigo was going to let that one fly. Basically, anytime somebody has it behind the 3-point range, I'm pretty confident they're going to let it go. Yeah, buddy, you got to. I mean, you grabbed a guy. You can't complain about that. I like to see him get EJ Walker back in, the guy sitting to his overhead off his right shoulder. Get EJ Walker. I'm trying to look. Quite honestly, I'd like to see Walker in there for Kobe Knox right now. Kobe's not having a good game tonight. Michi has finally scored. So we get Studi for Sean Johnson. Yeah, I'd like to see a little more EJ Walker in here. I like kind of what he's doing. I'd like, if you're gonna, now that you're gonna play him and you're not gonna redshirt, play him. Play him. Put him in there. All right, Michi's got 2. Still doesn't have a field goal, but he's got 2. Maybe that's what gets the lid off it. Listen, if Michi can get hot, you can play some defense. You're in it. I'm being ultra positive, I know. Let's see if they can get a defensive stop here. Some good work there. Asondigo is too slow getting to his right, and there's a foul. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they were close, right? They were close. Let's look at some stats real quick. Update you on the stat line here. That is going to be foul number 3 on Asondico. So Asondico for the night, 13 minutes, 6 rebounds, 8 points. 8 and 6 from Asondico in 13 minutes is a dream line. I mean, that's good grief. you he's I mean, I didn't realize he's having a solid game for what he is and for what I expect. 8 and 6, especially in the fact that it's 14 minutes now, and they missed both free throws. Um, I like what I've seen from Hassan Dakota tonight. I don't right now. He's not gotten any help. That was almost a moving screen, but the big fellow coming along a little bit there. Launch it, Grant. Okay, I want to see more of him shooting. All right, here's a big one here. Hassan Dakota's going to use his weight and his size. That's nice. Oh my goodness! Can't miss the bunny. You can't miss that. Now two of 6 on the night. I was wrong. I guess that was his foul. Last one was his second one. You can't miss the bunny. I mean, everything was done right. You can't blame Lamont Parrish for that. Yeah, I'd have that face too, Lamont. Like you can't blame Lamont for that. That's the dude does everything right except make the shot. Backs him down beautifully. Beautiful spin move or a little half spin to the hook, baby hook. He just misses the bunny. Just misses it. And then makes a dumbass defensive play. See, I said he was going to have 3 fouls. I was just ahead of my time. Hey, that's basketball IQ, ladies and gentlemen, girls, guys, whoever's watching. Like this right here is just basketball IQ. Why? Why? And now you're off balance, and because you're off balance, you're on his back, and because you're on his back, yes, sure enough, you get hit with the foul, and now we got EJ Walker. I guess I got what I wanted in the end, right? Not how I wanted to get there. Not how I wanted to get there. But we got EJ Walker in the game. I'd like to see Walker, and he missed. That's the last 3 free throws in a row missed, and a 3-pointer from Clemson. And don't worry about it. You missed 3 free throws in a row, but you bang down a 3, and the lead is 12. Mm. All right. Well, we're on another scoring drought. Hey, Grant Polk. I like that kid. That's a kid that whatever happens at the end of the season, I want him back. I want him back. And I really would love to see somebody. Uh, I'd really like to see a coach, if it's Lamont, whatever, whomever. Oh, they're just taking it to the rim on us now and drawing fouls like they're candy. Just stealing candy from a baby letting the fouls. And once again, our guys walking around like, I didn't do anything. I didn't foul him. Wasn't me. I'll say that. Keep the live stream going. This camera down. Wasn't me. I didn't foul. Looks like our guys came showed up straight from 9th grade ball where it was perfectly okay to complain. No, Tay, I don't think it's sad. Troy at Jackson State, I got to admit, after this, I'll go get my recliner and got a big day. Reminder tomorrow morning. We will be doing on Chief Sports Network with Jamie Bradford. I'll be doing from 9 to 10. Tune in live. We're doing the kind of a salute to Steve Tannehill. Both of us think we're kind of qualified to do it because we grew up with the game. We're speaking not from a place of media tomorrow morning from 9 to 10, but from us. I was 10 when I was 10 and Jamie was 7, I guess, in 1992, and we're speaking from a place of as a fan, if you will, a fan of Steve and what we remember. And I talked a little bit about here on earlier about remembering the Mississippi State game that he comes into, remembering the Tennessee game at Williams Brice on Halloween, remembering the Clemson game and signing to Paul, the Georgia game the following year over in Athens with Bennett over the top. I remember the Arkansas game the next week in which they lost to Arkansas 18-17. It's funny what you remember as a kid because I know all the houses. I know exactly where I was at for all of those games. And the stuff back then didn't turn out quite like we hoped. But they were fun times, that was for sure. Of course, when you have an offense that's able to score, typically fun times to begin with. So anyway, but we'll be doing that. So tune in to Chief Sports Network tomorrow morning. And of course, we'll have our radio show tomorrow from 12 to noon on 107.5. And we got a couple different topics Tyler and I will be talking about. Look forward to that as well. So busy day tomorrow, all the way around. And I've got I think I'm going to try and do a personal tribute to Steve that I've been wanting to do. And then also some portal talk now as we get some of these quarterbacks going in. DJ Lagway, Brendan Sorsby is in the market now. We get the word that Arch Manning is coming back or is going back to Texas. Lenoris, we believe, we're waiting on an official announcement from him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That'll be some of the content that I'll have. I need to do a little health update now that I've gotten all of my blood work results back from Thursday and Friday of last week. It's all very positive. They are surprised. They are surprised at somewhat of my health, if you will. Now my kidneys don't. They're functioning, but they're not functioning at the level we need them to. But they're very surprised at me being in the situation I'm at. Kind of a freak incident. Just goes to show you never know. But the meeting with Prisma went really, really well. And I've got a follow-up on January 5th to get a CT scan and a stress test. It'll be an all-day thing. I'll be out of radio on January 5th, that Monday. And those will go. They should go. Shouldn't find anything irregular. And if that happens, I'll be on the Prisma Greenville kidney donor list, and I go to MUSC late in January, and I need to finalize some stuff to get to MUSC Lancaster, which is another one. That's one of the top kidney hospitals right now in the Southeast. So just a little update there. All right. 47-37, 10-point game. Miles Studi travels. Twelve turnovers now. 12 turnovers and 2 of 17 shooting. I do wonder because, by the way, they've now played 9 minutes. We're at 10:53. They've now played 9 minutes in the second half, and they've only shot 2 threes. And that was on the opening possession, the opening 2 possessions to start the second half. So I wonder if Lamont said something to them and was like, "Hey, we got to attack the interior. The threes aren't falling," because that is interesting. Okay, shot clock getting reset. So, again, 2 of 17 and 12 turnovers. I'm a former coach, man. It's always the players. It's always the players. I mean, it's a combination. College is a little bit different because you're picking and choosing your players. If you got bad players out there, that's on you. When you constantly have bad players out there, when 2 out of 3 years you've put up the worst, you're contending for worst records in South Carolina basketball, and you're getting blown out in the manner they do. There we go. There's a 3. I was worried they weren't going to shoot anymore. When you're consistent, when you've done that 2 out of 3 years, that's not the players. Players have come and gone. Also interesting that their key player both of those years was a legitimate NBA prospect. Yeah, I don't think so. People don't. There's so much apathy on basketball. There's so much apathy. I love college basketball. There's a lot of good games tonight. UConn and Butler just tipped off. I don't know. People tomorrow. Maybe it will. I don't know. I hope you're right. No, we're better off when South Carolina loses. I don't care what anybody says. It makes for easier radio. People are upset and they want to voice their opinion. So I might be a little disappointed in the team, but I've never been upset when they lose because I know that makes my week's work pretty easy. That's when they lose consistently and there becomes apathy that radio gets really bad. So that's Studi's got to call timeout, inbounding the ball because they got 2 guys on Sham Johns. Like, is that a coaching thing that they don't? I mean, I don't know how that happens. How you don't have your Michi's in the game. How he's not back there trying to help get the ball in, or what he's doing. Thumb up his bleep. Standing there. There's no reason you got Clemson. I mean, that's good coaching on Brunell's part. Was there something else going on that had Michi down the floor? I don't know. Did Clemson just catch him off guard? I don't know why you ever don't have two guys back to bring the ball up. No, I think that was a good move by Tanner, the extension and the raise. South Carolina finally paid somebody. You can make fun of Tanner all you want. Certainly, you want to say this was a bad hire. Okay, I'm not arguing with you on that. I don't think the coaching search, that coaching search was just brutal. But I don't mind the extension was a good thing. That was actually a good move. Another 3, 2 of 19. 2 of 19 from 3 range. But I think the move, look, he was actually being courted. There were some schools up north, that were interested in him. I think you made the right move. Ohio State kind of was interested in bringing him home. And I think for the first time, giving him the extension, showed a little bit more of a commitment to South Carolina basketball, which is something that they've really never done. South Carolina's been bad about showing an extension. So, no, I think I think I think that was a great move to offer Lamont the extension. Who cares? It's just money. Everybody has it somewhere, apparently. Oh, good rebound, Walker. And a foul. I like that kid. But did you see where he had to come into to rebound? That does not make it conducive for a good rebounding team. He had to fly in from the 3-point line because you're running this 4-round-1 system. And if you're going to do that, dude, you got to have some dudes who can rebound, like, who go in there and have true length and athleticism, in my opinion. But you saw where he had to come from to get the rebound because we missed the layup and there was nobody else there. I like Walker. I like Polk. I like Ellis. I don't know what's going to happen with Eli. And I don't even know, if you like Eli, you're probably pulling for Lamont to stay, not go. But that would be and now we take Walker out. Yes, he's winded. Badly out of shape, clearly. Adam asks about getting a big in the portal, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look in the portal and look at bigs and see what was actually obtainable by South Carolina. Bigs are tough, man. Good big guys go to the NBA. Somewhat decent ones go to the NBA. Yeah, I agree, Tay. I don't want to speculate on that. It just knowing the business and knowing people and reading between the lines. I believe Louisville was the team that if there was ever a thought of decommitting and going to, that was it. And Pat Kelsey, I love Pat Kelsey. I've known Pat Kelsey since he was at Winthrop. I think the world of Pat Kelsey. Pat Kelsey wanted nothing to do with the South Carolina job before any of y'all. Like, we should have hired Pat Kelsey. I know for a fact. I've had conversations with Pat Kelsey about the South Carolina job. He was not taking the South Carolina job. Now, maybe if you offer him $5 or $6 million a year, some kind of ridiculous contract that nobody's heard of. All right. We're going to have a special guest pop on here. Let's see how we do this. And we're gonna get the little one in here, the little dude, and let him weigh in. Let's see here. I finally got it under. Remember, the total line for the game is 12.5. So, and Steven has taken the Gamecocks plus the 12.5. By the way, the over-under was 142.5. So 10-point game. 10-point game, 8 minutes to go. Gamecocks are not out of it. I don't know if they're in it, but we will carry this through here the remainder of the time. Yeah. I'm gonna side with him. That he's injured. He's been injured, but I'm gonna side with him. Some's actually an injury, but I'm with you on that. That's one of those things that's a little more suspicious. Gamecocks down 8, by the way. They're in this thing. They haven't gone away. They can hit some threes. Yeah, I'm with you. Me too. Odd timing. Hopefully so. Oh. All right. Well, we're going to add a second presenter here. All right. Oh. All right. I got.
Where's the volume button? Oh, there it is.
All right, everybody. Welcome in. Austin Gunner, fresh off of practice. He did not get to participate in. So he's gonna kind of be my little sidekick. We'll cover you. Let's go back to that screen right there. There you go. Good setup you got there. You got is that lights you got on all around you, or what is that? What's that light? What's over your left shoulder?
That
looks like a light.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a lava lamp, but I don't really use it. I'm not using it in a while.
Okay. All right. Now you've had practice, so you really haven't been able to watch. How much have you been able to watch so far?
I've watched since about the start of the second half.
Okay. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, we've not been shooting as many threes as I've watched us shoot.
No, they've slowed it down. They've slowed it down.
As well as
they had shot 17 threes after the first 2 possessions of the second half,
which is very shocking for the typical Lamont Paris ball. But as well as we every time they drive on us, they are picking up a foul and they're going to get to the free throw line, but they've not been hitting them when they get to the free throw line. Clemson is what I'm talking about, but Clemson's not hit. I mean, Clemson's 10 for 18 from the free throw line. So it could have been a larger lead for Clemson if they hit the free throws we're giving them.
Yeah. How was practice for the team tonight?
It was good, interesting. Went back to the basics. Went back to the basic zone, which is good. It's what we need to work on. So it was everything looked good. They'll get together. They will we just gotta, as they say, lock in, and we will we'll get there.
Lock in. All right, we're in this timeout. So you were giving some statistics there. South turnovers. This is a big stat here. Michi right now tonight. You've got nothing from Michi, or we've got nothing from Michi tonight. And that's huge. I mean, just that's the guy you got to get something from. Obviously, you've probably noticed, or we texted about it. I forget. Eli Ellis has been out, or is out. I don't know if you've seen Tay's comments on the live stream here. He was asking, and we were talking about the fact that Eli Ellis. We hope it's coincidence and not timing that Eli Ellis is sitting out one day after his brother commits, or 2 days after, I think 1 day, 2 days after his brother commits to Louisville.
And, yeah, I was coming back from practice when I read that he committed. That Isaac Ellis committed, and I don't know if you know. I don't know exactly what they said Eli Ellis wasn't playing for, but if it's not on purpose, then it's very, very coincidental timing.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, there's a lot of season look, there's 2/3 of the season left. There's 31 total games. Tonight is game 11. So there's still 20 games after this for South Carolina to play. And yeah, you certainly don't want
another fouling in one. Jeez.
You talking about for them or for us?
Yeah, Clemson just went over the top of
over
Soko.
Fondico, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He's had a pretty nice night, other than he's picked up some fouls here recently, and he had a weird. I know you saw it when he was backing him down. He tried to turn around. He just missed it off the front of the rim like a couple minutes ago in the second half. That's his fourth, it looks like.
Yeah. By the way, update on the Gilbert varsity game playing Aiken tonight. They lose 86-38.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended practice. They ended practice early, so we could go to it if we wanted to, but sounds like it wasn't very fun to go to.
No. And this one now, so Steven, who might have left our chat, has taken Clemson, took South Carolina plus the 12.5 for the game. Now it is down 13. Michi about throws that into the Clemson stands. You've got nothing from him tonight. We're going to launch a 3. And, hey, all right. We were due for one. That now makes it 3 of 20. Is that right?
We are now 4 for 21.
4 for 21. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Grant Polk hit one a few minutes ago. They gave us our third. 4 for 21. That is now a whopping 19%. I was just hoping they could shoot over 30% from three-point range. And Eli Strong fouls another guy and acts, no names are going to be mentioned, but acts like people I've seen in a lower level of basketball.
Yeah, you made a video a couple weeks ago, and obviously we've talked about him off stream, but I actually really like Grant Polk as a player. I think the type of player he is, we've not had, because obviously his main thing, based off of what I've seen, is that he's a good shooter, but he also doesn't get himself into situations where he's turning the ball over, kind of like guards we've seen happen, like South Carolina special, kind of like Jamari Thomas, who I liked, but I felt like he was always in situations where he was about to turn the ball over, or Amici Johnson in that case.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really like Grant Polk, and in this day and age of transfers and everything, he keeps playing like this. I don't think he's getting a lot of NIL money here. It might be a situation where they have to step up with him, because I'm with you. He's a steady player. I don't have his season stats in front of me. But coming into the game, he's not a guy that was committing a lot of turnovers, and he shoots the ball effectively. He's not strong enough just yet. First year in college, that's okay. I like what he brings to the table, and he's a guy that, whatever the situation is next year, I really want them to keep. As I look now, his season totals, his turnovers for the year, he's got 3. Yeah, he's got 3 assists. So that's to our point. He doesn't, he ain't exactly out here making things happen. But I'm with you on Grant Polk. I really like him. Look, I like Eli Ellis. I think if you can keep a core of Eli Ellis, Grant Polk, and EJ Walker, whoever the coach is, you keep those 3. There's other guys I'd want to keep, but those 3 are the main ones. And then you bring in Marcus Johnson, you hold on to him. I like what South Carolina has kind of going for them. I kind of like what could be the possibilities with what they do. At least building a program. Because, look, this ain't going to be fixed. South Carolina's not going to go hit the portal next year and instantly – that was almost a moving screen. It's just bad basketball IQ.
Yeah. There you go. We've not had some smart teams, as I seem to be ahead of you. Michi makes the layup, and Miles Studi picks up a foul on the other end of the court.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you're ahead of all of us or just me. I mean, look at that. When we talk about basketball IQ, see, he's like, no, you can't run out 28 feet from the basket and bump him. Like, what do you just settle down and defend him? What his back is to you, by the way. So he's not going to throw it over his shoulder and shoot a 3. That's 7 fouls now. No.
Yeah, that's the 23rd foul.
23 on South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, the statistics 4 of 21 from 3-point range. What are they at? 13 turnovers now?
We're 4 for 22 from 3.
Oh, sorry.
13. Yeah, it doesn't help our case. 13 total turnovers and 23 fouls to Clemson's 14.
Wow. And I don't feel like that's home cooking either.
Sorry, 23 to 15 as Clemson picks up another foul.
I'll tell you, and that was they're ticky tacky. They're ticky tacky. 5 minutes to go, and you call that foul. That's something else. All right, down 12. Austin, do they cover the spread here?
What is the spread? 12?
12.5. The South Carolina right now is covering, going to the foul line. Do you think they cover? Final 5 minutes are coming up. The South Carolina cover the spread for the game.
Yeah.
You going yes?
Yeah, I'm going yes.
Oh, Steven's not in the chat anymore. Boy, he would love you right now joining with him. Billy Billions went with Clemson. Sean Johnson hits 2. 60-50. Got to get it to I know Steven said earlier I came up with random numbers, but need to get it to 5 here by just under the 3-minute mark. 2:45, 2:40. Get it to 5 and you're right there. I mean, you feel good about your never mind. Just never mind.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was trying not to say anything and waiting for you to see it. That's
so you get to analyze what you see. All right.
it's I don't know if he played in the first half, but I've not seen a lot out of Hayden Asiman in the second half.
Asiman, yeah, he's not played. He's not played. He's played. I don't know if you got the number in front of you. He's played a total of 5 minutes tonight. Jordan Butler's only played 3.
Yeah, stat sheet says he's played 5 minutes and did nothing but pick up a foul, which and there's somebody out there that loves that, but
he wasn't in there. He wasn't in there for very long. He wasn't in there for very long. That's for sure.
Jeez.
Just the key is you're making free throws. You can't trade 1 for 1 right now. Force the 3. Jeez, what a shot! That was the first time I said not bad defense. I was gonna say that's a sign of not being a point guard and a sign of being a point guard. He about just has it taken from him, and then is able to drive and dish it around the defender. By the way, show your teammates he dished it with his right hand. He didn't try to throw some weird pass. He just dumped it behind him.
Huh.
See, that was a good basketball move.
Oh my!
You see? You can't do this. I don't know where everybody's at. Who's watching? Yeah, I know you're ahead of me, but well, you get the open look and you brick it. Well, okay. But see, that's part of the whole situation that I'm talking about. You get this 4-around-1 offense and guys are crashing in. They're not in the lane to be able to set up. Now, that's the offense we run. That's the problems you have. When you run a 4-around-1 offense, your guys are typically at the three-point line. Number one, we're launching, how many is it now? 24 threes? Is that right? Is that right?
We are up to
23 is what I see. 4 of 23.
Yeah.
4 of 23. And so you're shooting 23 threes as part of your 45 shots. Man, oh man. Half of your shots have been from 3-point range.
Yeah. That's
Gamecocks, by the way, for those wondering, the foul line is good. 16-19 from the foul line, 84% for the game from the foul line, 37.8%, which is not a bad shooting night. But Clemson's at 50% shooting, and that speaks to your defense. Clemson right now is 1 rebound behind South Carolina. South Carolina with 28 rebounds to 27 for Clemson. Gamecocks with 10 assists. Clemson with 10 assists. Gamecocks with 24 fouls. Clemson with 16. Gamecocks with 13 turnovers. Clemson with 7 as we sit here. Tigers 15 of 25 from the foul line, 5 of 13 from three-point range. They've done their damage there. Clemson has 16 points off of turnovers so far. And here's another stat, Austin. Clemson has 37 points off the bench tonight. We have 9. Our depth is, you talk about going to the transfer portal, and I always tell you when you're doing your NBA building, man, starters are great. You got to have depth. And right now, you look at that 37-9 coming off of the bench. That's not what you want. Now, Eli Ellis being out hurts that, but that's not a good stat to have right there either.
Yeah. Elijah Strong has 4, Polk has 3, and EJ Walker has 2 off the bench for only bench points there.
By the way, I'd have Polk in right now as a shooter.
And Clemson's leading scorer is, the game's leading scorer is off the bench for Clemson, just to prove your point on the bench emphasis.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot that's got to be fixed. The roster is going to have to be redone after the season. There's really, I don't know. If this team turned it around during conference play, if their shots started falling, we're talking about a different team. But I hate to say it, you're 11 games in. The percentage tonight, what did I say from three-point range is 17%. So you should fall right around 30, if not under 30, for the season in three-point shooting tonight. That's not good. There's really not a lot to defend on that. There's not a lot to be like, well, they're a good shooting team. They're not. They're just not a good shooting team.
Yeah, and that's been I don't know if that's Paris's idea of how the offense should be run. I don't know if that's just happened to be the players he's brought in, but really the last 2 years we've seen it more than the year before that with I think it was 23 was when we had the run that ended in the first round. Which that team, we just brought in players that happened to be able to shoot the ball a little bit. And then last year, we just didn't really have those players that could shoot. I don't know exactly who we were supposed to have that could shoot the ball last year, but it was the last 2 years have not had teams that can shoot the ball very well. And that's seemed to be the Paris's offense. Last year, just looking at it, Ugasuk shot about 41% from the 3 last year, and then the dip off is down from there. So,
hey, you have a great night as well. Well, thank you for joining us on the chat this evening and being a part of it. And we didn't bring them luck. It doesn't look like. Looks like South Carolina is going to complete a calendar year. Austin, I don't know. I didn't tell you this. Our pal J.C. Sherbert put out a stat pertaining to the calendar year, right? You know what that is, from January until the end of December.
yes, sir.
So you're spanning. It's not the athletic calendar. It's just how this year has gone. And obviously, you and I've laughed about it. It's been an interesting year. You've torn your ACL. I've got this little situation with myself. But in the calendar year of 2025, this likely loss, 9 points right now. Out of bounds. This likely loss will mean South Carolina's big 3 sports, big 3 men's, baseball, football, and men's basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Will be defeated against Clemson. None of the big 3. Baseball was swept by Clemson. Football was beat a couple weeks ago. And now the men's basketball team will lose to Clemson likely tonight, down 9 with 2:45. So unfortunately for South Carolina fans, for us, it doesn't get easier, right?
No, it does not. I don't know if that's how it what exactly is the Palmetto? How do they decide who wins, like, the actual Palmetto series across all the sports? Because I saw one of
Almost
those.
all the sports in an academic year.
Okay. So,
Adam. I mean, the results speak for themselves. What I think is, you're going to be 0-4. I shouldn't write them off just yet. You're down 9. Anything can happen. But the answer to your question is, I mean, the results speak for themselves. You've played the strength of schedule ranking coming into the night was 351 out of, I think, 362 or 365. I think it's 365. So you have one of the worst strength of schedules in all of college basketball. 351 out of 365. Now that was by design, and I didn't mind it because personally didn't mind it because I knew that you were trying to build with this team and you were trying to figure everything out. But that was also when you put together a schedule, you had to go no worse than 2-2 in the big 4 games: Butler, Northwestern, Virginia Tech, and Clemson. And you got 2 of them at neutral sites. You had 1 at home. Remember, this is the first true road game South Carolina's played all year.
yeah.
And so with that all being said, we wouldn't say anything about the schedule if South Carolina was about to be 2-2 in your big 4 games. Still wouldn't be good news for your Ken Palm, mind you. But they're going to likely be 0-4 as we don't guard a 3-point shooter, and he knocks it over the back of the rim, or the backboard. But to answer your question, Austin, you want to weigh in on that, on how you feel about what he did in the portal?
I feel like really based off now, obviously,
11 games.
11 games, and my idea on what I think could be not exactly correct. I mean, you, Dad, have obviously been on this plane a lot longer, and I've been around basketball a lot longer. But based off what I kind of understand, it's just we brought in pieces that on paper you're like, yeah, okay. I mean, you bring in a 7-footer, in Ahsoka, Essendoko, sorry. And you bring in some pieces that you're like, okay, but it's just I don't think the pieces meshed well. So to really answer your questions, it's not that he did a bad job. It's more of I don't know if the mentals and like the chemistry, the people he brought in meshed well. Because obviously we're not in the current basketball state to land one of those top transfers that there was last year. So it's not like he's expected to go out and sign top transfers. He just to really answer your question, no, I don't think he did an awful job.
The other part to that, you put together a team that, statistically speaking, on paper, was not this bad of a 3-point shooting team.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that. Now 4 of 25 for the night. Is that now what they're going to be at here as I glance back at the stats? 4 of 25, 16%. And there's a turnover. Yeah, that'll do it. 7-point game, and you got a turnover. You could have gotten it to 5 at least, maybe 4. Give you and Steve credit. Y'all should cover the game, cover the spread here. But on paper doesn't amount to a hill of beans. Oh gosh, okay.
A lot just happened there.
Oh. Tell you what, Capich is a raging bull in the ring. He just lowers his shoulder and goes directly to the basket. Yeah, Hunter's telling Ace Buckner, who's a pretty good little player but young, dude, you just get the rebound and dribble it back out and let clock run.
Yeah, because now, I mean, obviously, like you're saying, the game is not in our favor, but we're not completely out of it. Now the odds aren't looking good at all. That's not what I'm saying, but we're not completely out of it.
No. No, listen, you hit these two, you're down to 5. Clemson has not put this game away. They've left the door open for us to steal one, but you got to make free throws. I mean, you got to make plays when it's clutch time to make plays, and we got lucky that Buckner didn't hit either of those shots down there. Now you get fouled. The clock's not running. You can cut it to 5. Opens up the door for some strategical moves. Hit the second. All right, let's see what happens. They got 10 seconds to get it over. You see if you can get the turnover. Nope, they flipped it around. Well, you gotta foul them. I mean, you don't. There's no such thing as a 6-point shot, guys. To my knowledge, good grief. I mean, that's.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, yeah, he is. I'm proud of him. Very proud of him. I don't know what they're thinking at the very end there. I mean, again, it's basketball IQ. I don't know what the strategy is, like how you let 7 seconds run off before you foul. You know they're going to the line. You know that there's no such thing as a 6-point shot. You can't get it back in one possession, so you can't let them run it down, even though the shot clock favors you.
Brett pulled back in the game.
I don't know. Yeah, now South Carolina needs a 3, which is obviously our specialty. So now we'll get to 26 threes attempted tonight. Oh. Here's the guy. Bring him back in. Okay, something's going to happen in a second. Adam, it all is dependent on shooting. I mean, if all of a sudden shots start going in, and I do believe that can happen, it changes the whole dynamics. My studio is. And we foul one more time.
So we bring in now. I don't know what the idea was there, but and Miles Studi, don't get me wrong, Miles Studi is not an awful 3-point shooter. He's shooting. What is he shooting coming into? Miles Studi is shooting 24% coming into this game from the 3. And we bring in, I think, one of the better 3-point shooters on the team in Grant Polk, maybe the best. I'm not quite sure. And you give it a Studi in the corner who shoots a mildly contested 3. Just a lot really just happened there. In the last, oh, girl, that's great. They reached 67 points. That's fun. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. A lot of it goes back to what you're saying. Just the basketball IQ of this team is just not there.
No, it's not. So I'm now intently watching. I think y'all spread is good, but we got to see if Carolina's called the dogs off here. All right, Sean Johnson goes to the rim. You got to put back. That'll cover the spread. No reason to foul. Yeah, the officials are ready to go home, Michi.
Yeah, should have picked up a foul there, but.
Well, there it was, 68-61. Brad Burnell moves to 2-2 against Lamont Paris. Did you see the video? You hadn't seen the video. I put it on Twitter of the dude throwing darts who lost the first round.
I don't think I've seen that. I'll check after.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter maybe this morning, last night. You're going to have to go back through some of my tweets, but I made a comment, too, that coaches need to be that upset when they lose a rivalry game, not smiling and cutting up. I
did see what you put out about rivalry games in general. About you remember watching people who used to be very angry about losing. I saw that one, but I feel like the rivalry game intensity isn't really there.
It's different. All right, bud. Let's call it a night. It's been a fun night. I've enjoyed it. Thank you, Adam, for being a part of this. So many people who jumped in and out throughout the process. We'll maybe do some more Gunner father-son podcasts over the next few months as we watch some sports together and cut up about it, and maybe even a football one or two when we get around to the season. But thank you for joining us, Austin. Your
Yes,
analysis was fantastic. You're learning. You must have a great mentor. A great mentor.
I do. He's doing a good job, that's for sure.
All right. Everybody have a good night. Y'all take care. Stay warm. Merry Christmas to you from the Gunner family, from Austin and myself. We'll catch up with you later on. Take care.